So as a part of practical applications, I approached one of my friend and asked him about his information, and he was ready with positive mindset, and he provided his information. But I wasn't really sure whether the expenses he mentioned was enough or not. But I collected the details, and he mentioned he has enough 15,000 as a monthly home expenses. Retirement age he is targeting was 58 years. His wife's age was 28 and she's not working, and for both of them life expectancy was 80 years. Okay. The inflation he was considering around 8%. I mean, he was aware of the inflation of medical and education inflation. So he considered it as an 8%. So I took these details, I took this data and found out the inflation adjusted corpus for him at 8% inflation. So 15,000 of today's at the age of 30 will become 1,02,000 at the age of 58. And then his wife will be living for 27 years, and for 27 years they need to draw the 1 lakh rupees per month for next 27 years. So we found out the present value, like what is the corpus they require at the age of 53 of his wife. So it turned out to be 3 crore 78 lakhs and 21,000 rupees. Okay. So when I presented this value to him, he was pretty shocked, and he just called his wife. I mean, come fast, you have to see this. Like, what is talking 3 crore? So he just called his wife and showed him these figures, and yeah, they were shocked about the 3 crore.
Definitely, that is the
15,000.
Just sorry to interrupt you. So that is the job of certified financial planner when you sit with your potential client and calculate inflation adjusted corpus and educate how this corpus is arrived. And that's how client will come in for long-term savings. Otherwise, we have seen that why people are not saving for long-term, because they have just invested into mutual fund or direct equity for the return. So if they get a return within 1 or 2 years, they will withdraw. If they don't get, they will withdraw, and then they spend the money or buy some lifestyle product and services. Yes,
so monthly expenses which he mentioned was, after presenting him with the plan, he mentioned 15,000 is just मुझे लगा तो मैंने 15,000 बोल दिया, but I haven't considered my medical expenses and other things, other stuff. So yeah, he mentioned 15,000 is not really an amount, it's a big amount. So we can consider his inflation adjusted retirement corpus was around 5 crores. So that was the thought process change for him. And then we move ahead and wanted to find out if he want to start an investment from today, so how he'll be moving ahead. So if we go with the 6% instrument, which is providing, 6% rate of return. So he have to start with the 55,000 or 55,600 rupees investment from now for next 25 years, monthly investment. If you go with the 8%, that's 41,000 around, and with 10%, 30,000, and 12% is 22,000. So these are the different scenarios which I presented to him. Like if you go with the FD or if you do the RD, you have to go with the 55,000. And if you are into the mutual funds, you can, if you are expecting 12% return, then you have to start with the 22,000.
Good. And when your goal is long term, definitely you can think of 10% return by combining the right allocation of debt and equity strategy.
And this is the standard plan which I created. So he had an inflation in mind around 8%. So I said that is also a value, and 6% is a standard inflation. So you are also correct and I am also correct. So if you want to go with the 6% inflation, then the retirement corpus will be 1 crore 85 lakhs. And you are also correct, because we are not considering lifestyle inflation. So you could be having your lifestyle inflation, like you are now traveling on a bike, you may be traveling in a car, then you will be buying your own car, then you are upgrading your car. So this kind of thing is a lifestyle inflation, so which we have to consider. And it's a good thing you have already considered at 8%. And at a 6%, our retirement corpus is 1 crore 85 lakhs. So we can target around 3 crore of your retirement corpus. So again, why did the calculation for the SIP. If he wants to target this retirement corpus, if we start with the 6%, it's 27,000. With 8%, 20,000. 10%, 15,000, and with 12%, 10,000 rupees.
Good, very good.
And I wasn't really sure what investment he's doing, but he wanted to start something. So I said, we just had a meeting and he was impressed with my plan, but you thought, just ab to plan ho gaya, baad mein dekhenge kya karna hai. So what will happen to your investment and what will happen to your retirement corpus? So if he delays his investment for 5 years, so if he, procrastinate of doing an investment or delay his investment for 38 years, so he have to do the 20,000 investment per month. So earlier it was around 10,000 considering 12% return. And if we delay 5 years more, around 43, he plans for an investment, then it's 38,000. If we go at a 48 years, want to invest for retirement, then it's 82,000. So this is the cost of procrastination, that he have to pump in a lot of money or lot more money to achieve his retirement corpus.
Good, very good. So it is a cost of delay where on average every 5 years your cost of doing a SIP is getting doubled.
So I devised the bucketing strategy for him. I said 6% is too conservative. We cannot go with the fixed deposit or the recurring deposit. We have the inflation risk on the recurring deposit. I mean, if you invest with the 6%, inflation is at 8%, you are losing your, your real rate of return is -2% in layman's term. And if you go with the equity, we have a market risk. I mean, we don't know when market will shoot up. We don't know when market will, go down by 30%. So we will take a balanced approach. And I devised a strategy for him. I calculated, 9 years of his post-retirement expenses. We plan to invest it in a 7% return of instrument. So that corpus was around 66 lakhs. Value of 15,000 at the age of 53 was 64,000. Then for the next bucket at 62 years, for next 9 years, they have to accumulate the corpus of 1 crore 13 lakhs rupees. And if we go at the 71, age 71, he have to accumulate the corpus 1 crore 90 lakh rupees. So these are the corpus at different stages, life stages.
Yes.
So we then discounted that value to the retirement age, that is 53 of his wife's age. So we weren't investing this whole amount in a 7% instrument. What we did, we devised this amount in different instrument with the different returns. For the second block, we choose the 9% return. And then for the next block, we consider the 11%. As we have a 18 years in hand, we can take risk on that. Can invest in the market. So those bucketing strategies I have devised for them. And by using this strategy, our retirement corpus was gone down around 1 crore 47 lakhs, which was 30 lakhs of savings, you could say, in retirement corpus. So he was pretty impressed about this strategy. And he was showing interest about, what's more, what else you can do for me. So I said, yes, this strategy is in the post-retirement, but we can devise same strategy right from the beginning. I mean, when you start the SIP, we have some certain asset allocation in the mind, and we'll go with that asset allocation. We'll not take the inflation risk. We'll not take the market risk. We'll take a calculated risk. Like if you going to invest 100 rupees, what we'll do, we'll invest 60 rupees in equity and 40 rupees in a debt fund. And we'll try to rebalance it on a yearly basis or, on a bi-yearly basis. So we can do that. So this is the asset allocation which I decided for him. And after 7 years, we rebalance it to 50-50%. At 46, we rebalance it to 40-60. At 53, at 52, we rebalance it to 30 and 70. So 30% in equity will be, invested for 18 years for his last bucket. So that will be residing here. And by devising strategy, we again, it's not a reduction in SIP, but it's a reduction in the risk. So I said, by devising the strategy, what I did, I reduced your risk. I mean, we are now generating 8.73% return, which is a gamma return, which an advisor generated for you. So we don't have to take the inflation risk and we don't have to take the market risk. So it's just a balanced approach.
Good, very good, excellent. So that is the power of qualified and experienced certified financial planner who can not only prepare the basic or standard retirement plan, but who can help to construct the post-retirement advanced asset allocation rebalance strategy to optimize the risk and optimize return. He can help you to plan the pre-retirement advanced asset allocation and rebalance strategy to optimize risk and return. So that is the reason we are investing our time, and we are eligible to charge the fee for our investing time. Yes.
So I ask one more input from him, whether he want to increase his SIP amount. I mean, he's already doing an investment, so I wanted to just check whether he get a yearly hike or not. He said, yes, I get a 5% hike. So I said, if you do the same hike in your investment, so let's see what the SIP requirement for you. So we considered the 5% growth per yearly in his SIP value. So his SIP was reduced from 14,000 to 9,000, around 300 rupees. So this was another value addition to him.
So almost 40% SIP is reduced from 14,000 to 9,000. Good, very good. And that is again easy for client, because client is normally income is expected to increase at 5 to 7% or at least rate of inflation. Okay. So if you can increase your investment as per your income growth or your as per the inflation, you can create a big corpus over a period of time.
So this graph is more of a visualization. I mean, I did the formula, I applied the formula, but he wasn't really sure what I was doing. So I draw sort of, chart for him and told him, like, when you start with 100 rupees, next year you'll be doing 105 rupees and so on. You'll be continuing your SIP for 25 years. So if you start with 100 rupees now, it will be 322 rupees at the last year. So this is the increasing SIP.
Good, excellent, excellent. You have prepared the financial plan. Yes.
So another need-based goal he was having in mind of a higher education of his child. So he wasn't really sure about what amount to target. So I said, let's target it at 3 lakhs when you take an admission, then 1.5 lakhs for next 4 years. Then I found out the inflation adjusted corpus for this. I mean, the 30 lakh of today's will turn into, could you please scroll down, sir? So 3 lakh of today's will turn into around 7 lakhs when your child will be of 18 years of age. After 11 years, 1.5 lakhs will be 3.77 thousand after 12 years, and so forth, so on and so forth. So at the age of 43, the corpus which you require for your child's education will be around 21 lakhs 31,000. So this was again a shocker for him, and he was really, thinking about the 21 lakhs at the 48 or the 44 years of age. And then again, we try to find out, if you want to start an investment, what are the investment values, or what is the SIP requirement. With the 6%, it was around 11,500, with 8%, 10,000, 10%, 9,000, and with 12%, 8,000. And again, I helped him with the asset allocation strategy, as in he was aware about the different risk on different instruments. So we again devised the asset allocation strategy here with the rebalancing, you could say 10% reduction in last phase. I mean, when child turned into 13, we reduce our equity exposure by 10%. So from 13 years, 40% was in equity. Then we moved 30% at age of 14. Then when the child is 15 years, then we move to 20. When 60, we move 10% only in equity. And at the age of 17, we took out whole amount and secured it in the debt instruments. So when his child really required the higher education amount, we don't have any market risk on it.
Good, excellent.
And again, he mentioned I can also do 5% addition yearly. So if you do that, the 10,000 will become 8,000 today. So he'll almost save 2,000 rupees in a current term.
Good.
another goal, he had a multiple goals like, the retirement was priority, child education and marriage was priority, buying a flat, buying a gold, and vacation. So these are the goals. These were the goals. So I calculated the marriage corpus for him, which was 32 lakhs. And I also did the different return scenarios, and we come with the different returns. I also added the increasing SIP formula, and the same thing, like our SIP was reduced to 3,500 rupees.
Good, very good.
So after finishing the plan, he had a multiple goals in mind. I only shared few of the goals with you. So buying a house, investing in gold was other thing. So when I gave him this, the requirement of SIP, I educated him about the need and want. So he was targeting education at first. I mean, education, child education was his priority, then retirement, and then marriage, and then buying a house and buying a gold. So I said, no, your priorities are a little bit off the track. You should first prioritize your retirement. I mean, if you go for a loan, I mean, you cannot take a retirement loan. If you go in a market, you don't have a retirement loan for you. But if you go in a market, ask for an education loan, you'll get it. So you have to prioritize your retirement first. Then your child education, yes, it is also important, because, once you get the education, you will be getting a better job. So that is also important. And now marriage, if you talk about the marriage in lockdown, we have only, we have to limit our attendees to 50. So I said 10 lakhs you are considering, but you can do that marriage in half an amount. You can do it in 5 lakhs also. And that's a need. So you don't have to go for it. And buying a gold is not your need. It's just an aspiration. You are already residing in your own house, and you are thinking it as an investment perspective. So it's not a good thing. The real estate's golden days are gone. You will be taking additional loan, and you will be taking liabilities on you. So that is not required at the moment. And you have to continue with your retirement and your child education first.
Good, very good. So congratulations for making a superb financial wellness plan. And I knew it from well beginning that your handwriting is excellent. So when you prepare a financial wellness plan and share it, on a other side, investor feel your hard work. Okay, that how much time you have invested in terms of qualitative thought process, in terms of documenting the need and wants of client, converting into the inflation adjusted corpus, converting into the various advanced asset location and rebalance strategy. So that's the beauty and benefit of the handwritten financial wellness plan, because when you prepare 10-page, okay, people can feel your hard work. But if you make it a 20-page financial wellness plan based on some software or some kind of Excel sheet, people will feel that, investor on other side feel that, okay, you did some copy paste by entering the data. Okay, and that's the reason I strongly recommend all of you, and you continue habit of doing a handwritten financial plan, which may take a little more time compared to the software or Excel based, but which will basically give you more confidence and more control and good benefit to the investors. Good, very good. So I'll share you that PDF file which I created. Okay, so you can share to your friend, colleague, relative, and give them idea what is a sample financial wellness plan look like. Okay, so if anyone who is interested to prepare a financial wellness plan, they can connect with you. So that's how it gives you a fair idea to share your financial wellness plan. Good. So let's move towards conclusion. So as you have completed 3 exams, I'm sure that by March 2021, you will complete your CFP certification, most probably your 4th exam in January. Okay, 1st week of January as we have decided, and your 5th exam in 1st week of March. Okay, so what is your future plan when you see yourself down the line 3 years, 5 years? Okay, what thoughts you have in your mind?
As I mentioned, sir, I started with the MFD certification, and I really find the conflict of interest there. So if you try hard not to be, thinking of yourself, but I have seen people who were thinking of themselves, and the client interests the CFP says client interest is first, but that mentality is lost. So I don't want to be that. I want to be the, catalyst here. I want to be the change. I want to be the change, and I want to influence the 100 families about the financial wellness. What is financial wellness? Then the products are secondary. The wellness is primary thing for me. So I am expecting to influence 100 families for their financial wellness.
Very good. And over a period of time, you must create a thought process that until I don't prepare your financial plan, I will not sell you a product. Someone says that I want to start a 5,000 SIP, or I want to buy a one term life plan of 50 lakh rupees, or I want to buy a 5 lakh rupees mediclaim policy. Okay, why don't you basically execute the transaction? So if anyone, specifically certified financial planner or qualified financial planner, basically create a courage to say no, I'll not do a transaction-based services to you. You can go and do it from anywhere. Okay. I first like to construct your financial wellness plan. It could be a 5-page, it could be a 20-page based on the client needs and want. Okay, we don't want to say that it must be very exhaustive, but something goal-based financial planning is there. And then if it is backed by this, we give the proper solution of basket of product, whether it is a term life, health insurance, or mutual fund, or recurring deposit, or PPF account, then client is going to commit for a longer period of time. Otherwise, chances that within 6 months, you realize that a client has discontinued the SIP, client has not paid the second renewal premium of health insurance. Okay, because today client is in most investors are in panic and they are buying the health insurance. Once everything is going to be normal, example, in next 1 or 2 years, chances then they will lapse their policies because they have not understood the long-term benefit of their investment and not committed to the goal. Good.
So,
good.
Sir,
yes,
I want to add here, sir, on a point which you mentioned. So the case study which we discussed, this guy don't have a life insurance. So when I calculated his insurance corpus, it was around 1.5 crore, 1.50 crore. So I asked him, he insisted me to review his portfolio. I said, no, I will not be doing this. If you go with your contingency fund, I don't have your requirement. Your budgets, what is the cash flow? I don't have that detail. But I want you to create your contingency first. Create a contingency fund. Have a life insurance in place. Then only we can review your investment. Otherwise, as I mentioned, you are building your story from the second floor. But I want to start with the, building your pyramid from the ground level. And as my sir taught me, if you want to be with me, you have to follow my guidelines. Otherwise, I may not be really helpful here.
Yes.
So he said, okay, I'll be buying a term insurance, then you can review your investment. So yeah, he was okay with it.
Yes. So that is the thought process we have to impart to our potential or existing client, because when we go to a doctor, when we go to a profession like chartered accountant, lawyer, then we don't say that you do this way or that way. We suggest our problem and then they basically understand your problem in detail and provide the solution, and you have to follow that solution. Na? So same way, until we don't believe ourselves that we are a financial wellness doctor, and until we do not have done a proper diagnosis, we will not sell a product. Okay, chances that 10 out of 2-3 clients you lose. But this is a good in a long term. Short term, you may have a few thousand rupees distribution income loss. But in long term, I can say that those clients, those investors who have followed your thought process, chances that they will commit for a long period of time, as well as they will commit more amount of per month because they have realized the need of savings for their retirement or children higher education or vacation, etc. Second, even they will refer to you, because end of the day, we are in business of wellness. And so now, if I say, what is the one important message you are like to give to the investor community? Maybe investor could be your friend, colleague, relative, or potential clients.
We are so busy with our day-to-day task. If I talk about the IT, we are so busy learning about the new technology, our new products. and we lose interest on a finance, or we don't have enough time to concentrate on a finance. So I'll suggest them to seek a professional advice. And if you don't want a professional advice, if you want to do DIY, then you have to learn from somewhere.
Yes.
For an example, you can learn from a Keywood sir. You can not a CFP certification, but you can have a holistic approach that how the investments look like. I mean, if you want to start your investment, you have to clear your base first. You have to have emergency fund. You have to have insurance in place. And then you can build your short-term, long-term, medium-term goals, and you can create a wealth. But I have seen my colleagues who just do investment for a tax-saving purpose. Last year, while submitting the proofs, one of my colleague mentioned that you have to invest in an Axis mutual fund. So another colleague went and he invested in equity fund, not in a ALSS fund, and he thought he did the ATC investment. So these kind of investment mistakes are happening. Another colleague who again fall in a trap of his advisor who sold him a ULIP product. So yeah, these things are happening if you don't have a goal in mind. So I mean, I would suggest to consult professional. If you want to do it DIY, learn it from the professional. So yes, take a help. Don't hesitate for it.
Good. So message is loud and clear. There are two options for a young professional. Omkarji is IT professional, so I'm discussing from the IT professional perspective. So one, either you appoint the qualified and experienced certified financial planner like Omkarji and construct your financial plan and execute with help them, or someone 1 out of 10 may have a thought process of learning. Okay, then they need to do some training where you offer the live recorded lectures or live lectures, online lectures, which is the option available. And once you learn and once you find the confidence, then you can do it as a professional DIY investor. But without the professional help or without being a professional, if you start doing the investment in direct equity or mutual fund, chances that you end up with the lower return or maybe a capital loss also. So now, as you are in IT profession, okay, I am outside from the IT, so I don't know honestly more about the IT profession. But suppose today you have done a CFP certification. CFP certification is a name, but you have learned personal financial planning. Okay, you learn about the, you can say, cash flow planning, budgeting, loan planning, contingency planning. Okay, you can construct the financial wellness plan. You know the variety of products are available into debt and equity or other asset class. So do you feel that this knowledge or this certification you acquired, which can helpful in your professional career?
Definitely, sir. As an individual, yes, it will help me. As a professional, it will help me. I can, as I mentioned, like helping 100 families. Yes, not now, but I can. I mean, the families are upfront asking me for the fees. So yes, I can see it as a professional growth, and I'm thinking it as a second career for me. After after IT, this will be the second career for me.
Good. My question is that is it helpful to getting a higher salary? Okay, right now, if I'm right, IT sector, one of the biggest client of IT sector is banking and financial service sector. We call it short form BFSI, banking and financial service sector and insurance companies. So do you feel that when you have a expertise in financial planning or you can say finance and various financial product can helpful to getting a better income, higher income as a IT professional?
Definitely, sir. I have seen certain openings. For an example, Principal Mutual Fund or the Principal, which is located in the Magarpatta, Pune location. I have seen their openings where they ask specifically an finance professional as an IT manager for an IT department. So yes, this will be the value added in a BFSI sector, like having the knowledge, overall knowledge of the products like an insurance mutual fund and so on and so forth. So it will be an added advantage if you talk about the BFSI sector and IT specifically.
Okay, so message is that if someone who is in BFSI sector, IT professional who is into BFSI domain, writing a code or providing a service to BFSI company, okay, chances is that if you have that expertise which can help you to get a better earning in your organization, or maybe if you switch to another job, it also help you to a better earning. Now you use one word, second career planning or part-time income planning, as you are, once you complete the CAP, you must be doing a part-time till you maybe get the confidence to, or you earn equivalent amount of income from the financial planning business. Okay, so how this CAP certification can be useful to the young IT professional or maybe mid-age IT professional to do some kind of part-time income planning or second career planning?
So if I talk about my example, yes, I can see the change. In an IT, you have to, learn the things very fast, and to rely on one technology is not an option in the current situation or in the current era. So you have to have an additional knowledge over here. And to start off, having a CFP will give you an overall approach about the personal finance, and you can have a different exposure to different field also, which you can think about your second career, and that will really helpful for you.
Okay, and last concluding point is, you started your distribution business as a mutual fund distributor in 2017 with Sakal. Okay, and later you joined with us into CFP coaching. So what is the one important message you would like to give existing mutual fund distributor community?
Recently, I had another example, sir. I mean, when markets were short up and at 40 plus level, 40K plus levels, I mean, we had in a group where one of the IFA asked about what to do now, and fortunately, I was doing preparation for IP exam. For the next day, I was having an IP exam, so I thought, talking about this. So I educated him about the asset allocation thing. I mean, there is thing called an asset allocation. So if you don't have that in place, I don't know, I mean, how you will be serving your clients and how you will be helping them to, manage their investments. So yes, to have a holistic approach, you should be upgrading yourself. You should be not only thinking about the product. I mean, you should not be only thinking about the balance advantage, dynamic asset allocation products. You should be thinking about the asset allocation at a strategic level for the customer. I mean, you have to earn the return, you have to secure the returns. So yes, to you have to upgrade yourself and you have to learn something new. I mean, you can start with the CFP. So yes, to have a balanced approach, you have to go for a CFP, upgrade yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Omkarji. On a short notice, on a Sunday evening, you decided to participate in digital meeting for the benefit of your investors and also CFP aspirants. So once again, I thank you very much for joining your honest story, and I'm sure that this honest success story will inspire many young professionals, those who are in IT or non-IT, to think about learning the personal finance as a part of their professional career or personal life. And I'm sure that you will also, once you complete the CFA certification, you will able to help and achieve the 100 families target in next 2 to 3 years. So thank you very much.
I thank you, sir. I mean, without your guidance, I won't be, seeing myself completing, even as I mentioned earlier, I don't see I'll be completing my training also, because, when I mentioned I was in a containment zone, my father was also affected with the COVID, and my uncle was passed during this phase because of COVID. So that was really in a bad phase. And you, the only person who, motivated me. You talk about my goals. You talk about the micro and the macros. You talk about my goals. So yeah, without your help, I don't know. I mean, where I should be in this journey. So thank you for this. Thank you very much, sir.
My job and my duty as a coach and mentor, because in life, many of time it is difficult situation, but someone who can give a little bit a push or guidance, right guidance, which can basically help us to overcome that difficult situation. And I'm sure that what happened, which was a macro event, Okay, we could not do anything when there is a metro event, but you focus in the your study, and that's how you completed 3 exams. So I request for next 2 exam, you keep your same level of momentum for study, because end of the day, when you are going for first week of January, your exam for TPEP, but you need to invest approximately average 4 hours per week or 25 hours per week. Okay, and solve your subject query or practical queries with me, or you can take a help of Bhavik Kakad. We had a morning discussion. So when you have a qualitative 125 hours of time investment, I'm sure that you can pass this exam with 60, 70, 80% person. And then again, we'll prepare another 2 months for the exam 5. So this another next 3 month journey is more about the building a strong domain expertise. Okay, and that strong domain expertise will helpful for next 20, 30 years, and will helpful in our personal and professional career. So thank you very much for joining. I disconnect the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.